Hi everyone. If you're watching this video, then you've probably signed up to be part of our sort of test pool of drivers for this sort of series of experiments stroke exercises that I want to test the reaction of people to, i.e. can we develop people's skills or their motor function, their visual ability or their visual processing ability with a series of relatively simple exercises. These exercises are not just plucked out of my brain, they're the result of doing a lot of research into things that professional sports people do, specifically sort of from the motorsport point of view, so our interest in F1, IndyCar, that kind of very high-end motorsport. And I want to see whether or not, one, it actually works, and two, whether we can benefit in the sort of lower levels of motorsport. And obviously I think we can scientifically it's been proven, the papers show that, but usually they're on a relatively small pool of people, of test subjects, and quite often they're done on professional athletes. So those professional athletes are obviously already at a particular level, and any improvement that they get could be, or usually is, very small, potentially unmeasurable, so small that it's unmeasurable. And maybe that shows that the exercises that they do work, but are not a terrific benefit, or that they would be a terrific benefit if you were starting from a lower level, i.e. you hadn't done years of that sort of training. So that's of interest to me. I want to see whether or not we can take young people, inexperienced drivers, and give them a little bit of extra help on their way to furthering their career, or obviously for people that just feel competitive, that want to improve in whatever field of competition that they do. So I've purposely not said too much about what these exercising experiments are, because I don't want people jumping ahead and starting to do things, and if I'm being perfectly honest, some of the exercises and some of the things that this research has suggested are, it's almost unbelievable or very, very simple, to the point where you'd probably laugh at me if I told you what they are. And I don't want to put people off of getting involved. I want to see if I can capture people's imagination, see if we can find some interest and get people's a test pool of people together that will do whatever I try whatever I say, if you like, and see if the results prove or disprove the theory. And if they start to prove the theory, then we can look at the more abstract ones and see if they also work, and hopefully I'll have a bit more confidence in the research that I've done by that point. I might, just for from the scientific point of view, checking that we're not having a kind of placebo effect, I might throw some exercises in there that shouldn't work and are just there really to test whether or not people are really improving, or whether or not it's a case of belief and practicing helps improve stuff. I mean, to be fair, that will be a useful exercise in itself if people just feel confident in doing new things and improving and practicing. So I'm going to run you through the first little exercise, and this is just a benchmarking exercise. This is just to find out where people's visual reaction times are currently, because some of the following exercises are supposed to improve that. And obviously from a motorsport point of view, because we're travelling quickly and everything's coming at us fast, we want to improve our visual response time if possible. That will effectively slow everything down, give us the chance to be more aware of what is happening on circuit or happening around us, and should make us more consistent, should help us avoid incidents that could take us out of the race, and obviously from a sort of one lap speed type point of view, seeing the corners coming slower at us should mean that we can get on the gas at the right time, brake at the right time, follow the right lines, understand what the car's doing, so that we can feed back and make any improvements there. So I'm going to switch now to a screen capture video where I take you through the first of the visual reaction tests that I want everyone to do. If you could either take a screenshot and send that to me, or if you can just note down what the results are and send them to me, I'll keep a log and we can start moving forward from there. We've got quite a few people in the test pool at the moment. I'd like more, and hopefully these videos and spreading the word will get us a larger test pool. On that point, I may not rush through these initial benchmark tests, and I might not rush forward in doing any of the new exercises, purely on the basis that I'm hoping that we can collect together a few more people, and I don't want us to get too far ahead and then have people trying to catch up.
The first benchmark test I want to do is this reaction time test from humanbenchmark.com. Now you can do this on your phone, but I've found that your reaction times are a lot slower on a phone because it requires you to tap the screen and you can't hold the screen in preparation. So there's obviously a delay in the time it's taken for your finger to sort of travel through the air and hit the screen, whereas if you do it on the website on a PC with your mouse, then you obviously can lightly rest your finger on the mouse button, and obviously your reaction times are a lot quicker. It doesn't really, I guess it doesn't really matter, but for the purposes of this experiment, we need to keep things the same across everyone that's participating. So I think that this would give us more, sort of more consistent results and take out any variation in the way that we're performing the test. So so literally go back, click on the reaction time button, and then I'll run through a sample test here. I'll do it particularly slowly, so that I don't give you an idea of what a time would be, because at the moment I don't want people's sort of egos to get in the way. We need this to be a really consistent and true reflection of what people's reaction, or what the average reaction time is before we start doing any experimental exercises or whatever to try and improve it. So literally, to start the test, click on the screen and then click the mouse as soon as you see the screen turn green. Click again to go to the next one. It'll do this 5 times. Click again. And one last time. And it gives you here the average. So in this example, I've 412 milliseconds is my average reaction time. Now you can go to save score, and it will tell you what the general population's average reaction time is. Don't take too much notice of that, because obviously at the moment all we're after is a genuine figure of where you are, rather than what's the best that you can do. So don't go practicing it half a dozen times before you do it. Please just sort of watch this video so that you know what what process that you've got to do. And obviously, if somebody distracts you and you click too soon and it screws up the test, or for whatever reason your mouse stops working and you like this 1.4 second thing, then have another go. It needs to be a genuine reflection of where you are. Just don't want people practicing and giving sort of the absolute ultimate result, because that will skew the results of any future exercises that we do. Okay, so for now that's the first part of the benchmarking. So if you can do that and take a screenshot of your results or send me the results so I can keep track of it.
Last thing to say, thanks ever so much for agreeing to be part of this, and I hope we all get something out of it. Until then, hopefully you will subscribe to the channel so you automatically get notifications when I do these videos. But obviously if you've already emailed me and joined the test ball, I'll be sending out email notifications that there's a new thing to try. So until then, thanks.